A failure is not always a mistake, it may simply be the best one can do under the circumstances. The real mistake is to stop trying. I did not direct my life. I didn't design it. I never made decisions. Things always came up and made them for me. That's what life is. If you insist that individual rights are the summum bonum, then the whole structure of society falls down. The ideal of behaviorism is to eliminate coercion, to apply controls by changing the environment in such a way as to reinforce the kind of behavior that benefits everyone. We shouldn't teach great books, we should teach a love of reading. The feeling of being interested can act as a kind of neurological signal, directing us to fruitful areas of inquiry. Must we wait for selection to solve the problems of overpopulation, exhaustion of resources, pollution of the environment and a nuclear holocaust, or can we take explicit steps to make our future more secure? In the latter case, must we not transcend selection? The real problem is not whether machines think but whether men do. Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. When you run into something interesting, drop everything else and study it. No theory changes what it is a theory about, man remains what he has always been. You can get along very well in this world by simply coming up with a quantity of reasonably valid statements. The people who control the condition in which we live have no reason to think beyond more than the next 5 or 10 years. I don't deny the importance of genetics. However, the fact that I might be altruistic isn't because I have a gene for altruism. The fact that I do something for my children at some cost to myself comes from a history that has operated on me. Those few people who do respond to the dire conditions of the future, journalists, environmentalists, behavioral scientists, tend not to be powerful. The way positive reinforcement is carried out is more important than the amount. A person who has been punished is not less inclined to behave in a given way. At best, he learns how to avoid punishment. The consequences of an act affect the probability of its occurring again. If you're old, don't try to change yourself, change your environment. Even the mundane task of washing dishes by hand is an example of the small tasks and personal activities that once filled people's daily lives with a sense of achievement. I have to tell people that they are not responsible for their behavior. They're not creating it, they're not initiating anything. It's all found somewhere else. That's an awful lot to relinquish. I never really expected to be controversial. Great scientific contributions have been techniques. What is sought can never produce the seeking. Society attacks early, when the individual is helpless. The environment shapes people's actions. We have not yet seen what man can make of man.